I take into account that this news is from November the 8th, 2024. However, I just found out about it, so we're going to pretend that it's recent news. Although it is kind of recent, right? It's just been a couple of months. Doesn't mean that a lot of things have changed. And I want to have the conversation. So according to this, executives and employees at NetEase were arrested over alleged money laundering. I love the fact that the press is using the word alleged. I haven't seen it in ages. Like, usually when you have an accusation, according to the press, you are guilty. There is no alleged, there's nothing. No. It's like in the court of public opinion, you're guilty, so the press will report it as if you're a criminal. Look at the Johnny Depp trial. There was no alleged, right? Like, no, he was the abuser. Even though, like, he was a very rich person and could sue, they still published nasty articles like that. But I guess, like, when it's something that's just corruption, they're like, alleged. Okay. And so, the reason that I find it interesting is that I was talking with an Eastern European. And he was having respect for this. It's like, look, I can finally understand that the Asian people are behaving normally. Like, this is classic case of corruption. But my rebuttal was like, no, you don't understand. Like, we Eastern Europeans are actually backwards. Like, we don't know how to do corruption. Just look at the gaming industry in America. They're experts at corruption. See, they don't money launder. No, like, they will hire consultants. You know, our video game, like, we don't know if it's going to be popular with gay people or not. Oh, goodness gracious, what do? Oh, we're going to hire a consultancy group. And then they spend, like, tens of thousands of dollars on that shit, and then the money is gone like a black hole. Does it matter if the consultants did a good job? No. Does anyone try to find the metric? It's like, how well received was our video game with the gay community? No. Is there any standard, any type of quality control? No. Where does the money go? Fuck knows. Right? And then you notice that this is also being injected top down. Like, you have a lot of conflicts of interest down the line. Like, for instance, let's say you want to make a video game, and you have a platform like Sony. Well, Sony has terms of service. They don't allow artistic creativity. Like, for instance, there is no way in hell you could make a video game like Postal 2 today. Postal 2 was an incredibly popular game for the time. It would have probably sold a lot more if gaming was as popular then as it is now. But it's a video game where you can use cats as silencers. Like, you literally put the gun into the cat's anus, and then it acts like a silencer. You can piss on dead bodies because it's like a sandbox game. You can do pretty much everything you want. They would never have that game on Sony. Like, there's no way. Right? So, how do you know that your game that you're making, which maybe you're trying to create something edgy, how do you know that it is allowed on Sony? Well, the answer is you don't. You really don't. So, like, you're investing tens of millions of dollars into a product that you don't know that when it's finished, you're going to be able to put it on a platform. So, what do? Well, you seem to know that Sony works with a couple of consultancy groups. Not necessarily officially, but like those consultancy groups that are insanely woke. Like Sweet Baby, for instance, if you hire them for your game, like, your game will almost always be accepted on Sony. And then there's the video game journalists that are also attacking your game, and they're kind of hinting that, well, if you hire these consultants groups, then we can give you positive articles, right? Like, this is why Stellar Blade was getting such negative press review, because they didn't have any consultancy groups. And then when you hire the consultancy groups and you pay them, all of a sudden, all the bad publicity goes away. All the platforms allow your game to be there. And this is how the corruption goes. That the conflict of interest is that many of these people behind the scene know each other. Do they exchange money or favors? I don't fucking know. But as an Eastern European, that's a very cynical person. I would probably assume they do. Because without the press and without the terms of service, these consultancy groups wouldn't exist. And they're not actually adding anything to the product. Quite the contrary. Like, usually the market absolutely despises the game developers that work with these consultants groups. And so, the West has taken and elevated corruption at a level that just goes beyond Eastern Europe. Meanwhile, Asia is still doing the basic bitch corruption. You know, money laundering. Nine NetEase developers have reportedly been arrested, including a pair of senior executives, according to Bloomberg and Chinese outlet Lei Fang. According to the later translated story, the employers launder what's ultimately estimated to be 800 million to 1 billion won, which translates to around $100 million. The studio is currently developing the free-to-play shooter like Marvel and Destiny's Rising. Money laundering in the video game industry is not uncommon, especially in the gambling industry. Like, this is why if you enjoy gambling, you may have noticed a lot of regulation, just like all of a sudden appearing, and a lot of websites being shut down. It's because they realized that they were money laundering to Russia. And so the European Union, the United States, and many other organizations are cracking down really hard on this economic segment. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if actual normal games, you know, something that has just microtransactions, maybe not even loot boxes, just like normal games, they're also engaging in a similar tactic. Now, the idea of this article is to get you horrified on Asian games, right? Like, the idea is like, oh, don't play Asian games because you don't know where the money is going, right? Like, you may enjoy playing Destiny Rising or Marvel Heroes or whatever the fuck, and your money may actually go into the pockets of Xi Jinping so he can build more boats. Like, that's what they're basically trying to suggest. Here's my take. Instead of, like, shaming the consumer for what they're playing, how about you shame the American industry at the top, the ones that get to decide what other games have? How about you shame them for destroying America's soft power? Because no one would be playing these games if America was making video games like it used to do in 2016. So maybe you start shaming the game journalists. Maybe you start shaming the platforms. Maybe you start shaming other countries that put ridiculous terms of service, which are making actual fun games impossible to be made. It's true, like you cannot make games the same way you make a car, where you have like a ton of bureaucracy and a ton of things where you have to self-censor, and usually like those things are in a gray area, so you don't really know where the censorship falls, so you have to self-censor even more. If that's the case, you're going to make bland, uninteresting, sanitized corporate games, which simply cannot compete with Asia. Like, if you have the Chinese that are making, let's say, a game with the purpose of money laundering, right? All they have to do is to actually make the game entertaining, and then, because they want the people to spend the money, right? Like, they're actually interested in people playing it. And your game just cannot compete with the Western stuff. If we had the same level of game development like we had during Dragon Age or the early Mass Effect, these games wouldn't even be on the radar. No one would play them. But if you destroy your industry, you destroy your soft power, well, then cry when you notice that Asia is now dominating the markets, and they're like, oh my goodness, this game is really bad. Why is the game bad? It's money laundering. Get the people arrested, get them in prison. You have laws. Like, what do you want me to do? Well, I want you to stop playing and supporting these games. Well, give me something else to play then. Put something else for me to play. What do you want me to do? To assume that every single game that comes out of Asia is a money laundering scheme? Like, I'm sorry, that's unreasonable. Am I being a bigot for not falling to the moral panic? Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you on my live stream. The link to it is into the pinned comment. Take care.